Hello. So today we are going to get into budgeting and wealth. So this unit is going to talk about a lot of things around personal finance. One of the things that we're going to get into is how to create wealth going forward, how you can budget for your goals and meet your goals in the future, in the short term, medium, and long term, and ways that you can do that, ways that you can save. Um, so yesterday you got into what your goals are, the kind of financial goals that you would like to achieve, things that you have saved for in the past, and how you might save in the future. So if you're going to have a goal, one of the first things you need to do is actually craft a budget. So, okay, I have this goal. How am I going to allocate my wealth, my resources, my money, and my time to achieving that? So that's what we're going to show you today. We're going to look at budgeting, and I'm going to teach you some budgeting vocabulary and just a few things that I want you to be aware of when you are crafting budgets in your life. Hopefully, this is something that you do and revisit over and over as you kind of move through financial changes in your life. Okay, so obviously, if you want to get somewhere, you've got to have a plan. And one of the things that you need to do is get a solid idea of how much you're actually spending. Not what you think you're spending. Like you save the receipts and you look at like, what am I spending on these things? And then put it down, write it down. See if you're okay with those numbers or if there's something that you can shave. Also, I want to say that budgeting doesn't mean austerity and that you can't have the things you want. If your passion is good food, budget for it. Say, like, I'm gonna go out to a really nice meal once a week, once a month. If it's clothes, if it's live music, if it's art, whatever it is, it's not that you have to take that out of your life if you have some goal, but just make it part of the plan. Make it part of the monthly plan, and then it's not a big deal if that opportunity comes up to see a show or to go on a trip if traveling is your thing. You've set money aside for it. Okay, here is some budget vocab that you'll see again. So there are different kinds of budget balances you can have. So what you do is when you're figuring out your budget balance, you take your income and you subtract your expenditures, just another way of saying your expenses. You take your monthly income minus your monthly expenses, and that gives you your budget balance. You can have the first one here, a balanced budget. A balanced budget means that it's all even Steven. Your income and your expenditures are exactly the same. You can have a budget surplus. Surplus, we know, means extra. That's a good thing. That means your income is greater than your expenditures. You're earning more than you're spending every month, and there's some left over that you can use to save or put towards some goal. A deficit, not so good. With a deficit, it means your income is less than your expenditure. So you're spending more every month than you're actually taking in. All right. When we talk about the idea of net worth, you might have heard of like different celebrities' net worth. How we figure that, it's the value of your wealth minus your debt. So your wealth is the total of all the things that you already own, not the things that you hope to own in the future or whatever. This is the things I own. And then your debt is the sum total of everything you owe. So to figure out somebody's net worth, you take the value of your wealth and you subtract your debt, the value of everything you own, and you take out all that money that you owe. So if you have a big house and you have a car and you have a boat and all of that kind of stuff, but you owe money all over town, well, your net worth really isn't all that high. Okay, saving. Saving really needs to be a line item in your budget. You need to be saving. You need to be saving automatically a minimum of 10% of your monthly income. And the thing is, you can have this automated. You can have this happen without even thinking about it. So financial experts suggest that you, quote, pay yourself first. What that means is before you even pay your bills, you make sure that that 10% goes into your savings, whatever your savings is. However you're choosing to do that. We're going to talk later in this unit about how you can save. So, that just like out of sight, out of mind, it automatically, you never even see it. Like your employer puts that money right into some other account and you are paying yourself first before you even look at, paying your bills that month. Okay, so now what we're going to do is get into creating a budget on a spreadsheet. So I'm not going to make you go through in this unit and look at the money you spend and all of that kind of stuff, but I am going to show you how you can use a spreadsheet to look at a sample budget, to calculate somebody's income and expenses, to look at their budget balance, their wealth, their debt, and their net worth. So here we go. I'm going to show you a sample right here. All right, here is the sample budget that I'm going to show you. What you do will be a little bit different. It's called Beulah's budget. But I want you to use a spreadsheet to calculate these different things, because I showed you all a spreadsheet before when we were talking about cost of production, and I was able to demonstrate that to you guys, but I want you to do this. I want you guys to actually work with these. So on this sample budget here, I'm going to show you how to add up somebody's income and expenditures. Then I will show you how to calculate the budget balance, and then of course possessions. Possessions and wealth are the same thing, and debt. We'll use that to calculate this person's net worth. So first of all, let's just break down a budget here. On the left-hand side, this is what's happening monthly. Monthly income, monthly expenditures. This is kind of the income and the outflow of money each month. Now over here on the right-hand side, this is bigger picture stuff. Your possessions and your wealth are the same thing, as I said before. And these are the things you already own. This person has $16,000 in a savings account already. Not what they're planning on, is what they already have. Versus on the left-hand side here, these wages, that's their paycheck that they typically get. Commissions. Commissions are, this person is most likely in some kind of sales, or maybe they are something where they do it, something where they earn tips. So this is going to vary from month to month, right? A commission is like when you get a percentage of the value of what you sold as extra money. And so this will, vary from month to month. This is just what this person typically does. These are dividends that they earn on some investments. We'll get into what that means later. But this is just kind of a budget. This is what I typically earn. Down here on the left-hand side, this is what I typically spend. Some things are fixed. Their mortgage payment, that doesn't change. But their utilities will change, their food. If they have people in town, it might be more. It just depends on what's going on from month to month. Your car loan payment, that is fixed. And that's also a payment on a debt. So let's take a look. This is a good example of how my left-hand side differs from my right-hand side. So every month, this person has an obligation to make a $450 payment on their car loan. This is a monthly expense. However, if I come over here to their debt category, it says $6,000. $6,000 represents the total of what this person owes on their car, right? A mortgage payment, that's a payment on a loan for a house in particular. A home mortgage is a loan that you've taken out to buy a house. So this person pays $1,500 a month toward their mortgage, but what do they owe on their house altogether? $168,000. Same thing with their student loan. They pay $800 to their student loan each month, but altogether, the total of their debt is $23,000. So, these are kind of two different types of things that are going on. Monthly, averages, expenses, what I typically do. And then this is kind of what I already know. I know how much I currently own. I know how much I currently owe. All right, so to do the calculating, what you're going to do is where you want the spreadsheet to total it up for you, you're going to click on that cell. And this is cell B6, right? It's the intersection of the letter, the column, and the row. So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to come up to this function bar and enter an equal sign. This tells it I want it to do something. And what it typically defaults to is it says, hey, do you want me to sum up this column here? It often will do that for you. A sum, of course, is just saying that it's going to add all the values that are in B3 through B5. And I do want it to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. and it should work for me. Enter. Okay, let's do it again. And I'm going to do that and enter. There we go. And there we go. That added it up all for me. All right, now this person makes $6,000 a month in their income. Let's figure out their expenses. So same thing, I'm going to click on my destination. I'm going to come up here to my formula bar and do equals. And it's saying, hey, do you want me to add this all up for you? And I'm going to hit enter. And it should just work. It's saying, it's confirming here, this is what you want me to do, right? And I'm going to say, yep, I want you to add up B9 through B17. And there you go. Now, if it had not done that for me, I could have selected the parts, the cells that I want to have added up, and I will do that. I'll show you an example on the next one. For now, though, I need the budget balance. Remember, the budget balance is my income minus my expenses. So I'm going to click on my destination, come up here, hit equal sign, and it's saying, hey, you want me to add all this up? No, I don't. I want it to take the total in here. I'm going to click on this, and it says B6. Then I'm going to type on my keyboard minus, and I want it to subtract that one. And there you go. It's giving me my budget balance. So this person has a surplus of $1,045. Pretty cool. Now, let's do their possessions. Sorry, a little gap in there because my recorder had a bit of a glitch. So, okay, on to possessions. So let me show you how this would work if I needed to sum up by hand, if it wasn't auto selecting these for me. So I'm going to do the same thing where I select my destination, but if it wasn't working, if I went up here to my formula bar and I hit equal and it just wasn't giving me what I wanted, it is, but let's just say it doesn't work in the way I hoped. Another way I can do this, I can come up here. You might need to kind of expand this if you're on a Chromebook, but you need to find this functions button. And when you drag down, it'll say sum. And now it's waiting. It's saying, what do you want me to sum up? And I can, by hand, click and drag and hit enter and do it that way. So that's another way that you can do that if for some reason it's just not auto-filling for you. All right, let's do this person's debt. So once again, I'm going to come up to my formula bar. I'm going to hit equals. It's going to say, you want me to do this for you? I do. There you have it. And we'll enter. Okay, so this person, they've got a nice amount of possessions. They've been saving a lot. That's great. If you notice over here, they are making savings part of their priority. They are saving, it looks like, 10% of their income. And that, remember, is what you are supposed to be saving. So they make $6,050 a year. So if I take that amount, sorry, not a year, a month. If I take that amount, 6,050, and I multiply it by 10% or 0.10, I will get $605. That's what this person should be saving every month, 10%. So since they've been doing that, it's kind of nice. They put $16,000 into a savings account. IRA stands for individual retirement account. You are going to learn about those. And of course, they've saved $5,000 into stocks. Now, this person does have some debt because they're still paying down their student loan. They do have a mortgage. So if I look at their net worth, I'm going to click on my destination, hit equals. This is the total of what I own, my possessions, minus, remember, I come up here to my bar and I'm going to type in a minus sign, minus my debt. Hit enter. And they have a negative net worth. And you guys, that can happen, especially when you're starting out. This person is not doing a bad job. They are saving. They are making headway on their student loan. They have $85,000 set aside for their retirement. They're doing okay. It's just that when you're starting off, you still might they still owe on their house. They still owe on their student loan. So a negative net worth can absolutely happen. Okay, what I want you to do now is go head on over to Beulah's budget. I want you to do the same thing that I did here. You're going to add up Beulah's income and expenses. You're going to take a look at her wealth or possessions. You'll add up her debt. You'll figure out her net worth. We also are going to ask you to fill out some of the boxes below to do a little bit of research on assets, some of the assets that Beulah owns. And if you're really struggling to get this done on a spreadsheet, I have left some hard copies behind so that you can still do this, because this is an important exercise to do for this unit. But I want you to try to do it on the spreadsheet first. Like, start there, because it is a good skill. Anyway, have fun with it, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.